Hello friends, it's Kik here, and in today's episode we have a lineup starting with TCL, which will release its first AI-created film. Microsoft is offering DALL-E to the Pentagon for target detection. Apple will teach AI to understand app interfaces. Google has trained robots to play soccer. SpaceX is preparing for global testing of cellular communication via Starlink satellites. And NASA has decided to test a new generation solar sail in space. But before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Have you subscribed yet? And now let's go! We start today's episode with the electronics manufacturer TCL, which announced the creation of original content for its TCL TV Plus app, launched last year on the Google TV platform. The debut project by the company's in-house studio will be the film Next Stop in Paris. This news wouldn't have appeared if the company hadn't decided to follow modern trends and resort to using artificial intelligence. The official announcement states that the production team, which includes animators, visual effects experts, and artificial intelligence engineers, worked on creating a story with an original script and live actors for voice acting, but all visual effects were created using the latest AI technology. The film's release is scheduled for the summer of 2024. TCL plans to release more AI-generated films, assuring that key Hollywood talents will be involved in their creation. What do you think about this talented work by neural networks? Write your answer in the comments about what you think. By the way, generative AIs for image creation are not as harmless as they seem. They can not only produce deep fakes, but also help train combat management systems and identify strike targets. Microsoft has offered to use its DALL-E to create artificial images that will improve the visualization of the combat situation and help systems more accurately identify targets. The US Air Force is developing the JADC2 system, which should provide data integration from all types of forces, including data from drones, radars, and tanks to coordinate military actions. Microsoft sees the potential of DALL-E as a tool for training this system. Despite presenting the technology's capabilities, Microsoft emphasizes that training using DALL-E has not yet begun. It is considered a potential direction for development. Openair notes that it did not participate in the presentation and was not informed of such use of its technologies. Any deals with the military will be governed by Microsoft's policy. It seems OpenAI might be heading down the wrong path, and we might soon face a real Skynet. What do you think? Apple's researchers have published a paper describing the generative artificial intelligence system Ferret-UI, designed to recognize mobile app interfaces. With its help, AI will be able to understand the interface of various apps and interact with them without prior training. Ferret-UI is a large, multimodal language model, the characteristic feature of which is the ability to learn from a variety of materials, including text, images, video, and audio content. LLMs have so far struggled with recognizing app interfaces, and there are many reasons for this, one of which is the mismatch in aspect ratios of the images used for training with the aspect ratio of a typical smartphone screen. The application area of Ferret-UI is quite vaguely described. On one hand, Apple might be doing this intentionally to not give competitors ideas about specific products, and on the other, researchers are developing technologies, and finding applications for them is not their task. Let's move on to DeepMind, a division of Google, which has demonstrated successes in the field of teaching robots motor actions. The team trained small bipedal bots to play soccer. The researchers explained how they achieved this and why the future will only get better. The company trained robots in the game using a method of deep learning with reinforcement. That is, the bots learned to process unstructured data. For example, this is not a set of numbers from 1 to 100, but completely unpredictable data, like the rapidly changing game situation on the field. The robots act in a way to achieve a result that was marked as positive. At the moment of training, for example, getting up after falling down is a positive result. The achievement differs from others in that the method was applied to the physical coordination of robots in space. Initially, the test subjects were trained in a computer simulation focusing on two tasks: getting up after falling and scoring a goal. Then the researchers combined these skills in a one-on-one soccer game. As they played more, the robots improved their skills to the state shown in the video. The range of motor actions included kicking, defending, reacting to the opponent's actions, and targeted shooting at the goal. The researchers also mentioned that the robots demonstrate unconventional behavior, which is difficult to program in advance. However, the training was conducted in simulation, and in the future the company plans to start training on the playing field to further increase the adaptiveness of behavior. Now let's look at the Spanish startup Limitless Propulsions, which is raising funds to launch a motorized pole with which one can ride a skateboard and roller skates without any effort from the user. It all looks quite amusing. The device is called REM, and the developers describe it as a foldable pole for moving. It consists of a two-joint hollow carbon pole with a motor power regulator and a main part in the form of a motorized polyurethane roller. The roller is rotated by a 3,000-watt brushless electric motor via a belt drive. The maximum speed of a skater with REM is 40 km/h. The battery voltage is 44.4 V and the range is 20 km. The device weighs 5 kilos and is made in a modular design. The pole can be divided in half and attached to the motor block. The latter has a fabric handle, which allows the gadget to be carried like a suitcase in transport mode. Deliveries are expected to start in November-December. The retail price of RAM will be $1,200. And now for some bad news from Tesla. The company plans to lay off about 14,000 employees and will introduce technological pauses in the production of Cybertruck. The reductions are part of Tesla's efforts to reduce expenses and increase productivity. The changes in Cybertruck production may be necessary to modify assembly lines. As known, the company finished the first quarter with not very good results. Car delivery volumes decreased by 20%, making it the worst period in the last 3 years. Adding to this, reports from the workers themselves about the reduction in work duration at the Cybertruck plant suggest that the newly minted Cybertruck is not doing very well. According to various sources, employees at other American Tesla facilities have not been notified of the reduction in work shifts, so the changes may only concern Cybertruck. The company SpaceX is preparing for international tests of its new cellular communication system via Starlink satellites. The test, which will start on May 1st and last 6 months, will allow internet connection to be transmitted directly from space satellites to ordinary mobile phones without modifications. In the US, the company plans to collaborate with AT&T to distribute broadband internet, and outside it to make arrangements with local operators. SpaceX also announced plans to expand the geography of testing to 4 new markets: New Zealand, Chile, Peru, and Switzerland, but this will require obtaining the appropriate permissions from local authorities. The duration of the test will depend on when the company receives all the necessary commercial licenses to operate the system from space. After successful tests in the US and obtaining new permits from the FCC, SpaceX plans to launch more than 800 satellites to support the direct-to-cell technology. And since we started with space, let's continue with it. NASA is preparing to send into space for the first test an advanced platform with a solar sail. They plan to launch it by the end of April on a Rocket Lab's Electron rocket. For testing the latest solar sail platform, NanoAvionics developed a unique 12U CubeSat. The testing task is to check the new sail armament system, which includes composite masts. In the folded state, they are the size of a regular tape measure, but can expand into solid struts up to 7 meters long. When the satellite reaches the designated orbit, the masts will begin to extend and pull the sail segments along with them. They are also made of composite material, which provides their rigidity during deployment but allows them to flatten and compactly fold when wound on a drum. In the future, such technology will allow the creation of sail structures significantly larger, up to 2 SQA. By the analysis, the sail deployment process will take 25 minutes, and its unfolding will be filmed by a camera on the satellite, and then the recording will be transmitted to Earth. And of course, we couldn't pass by the robot Space Hopper, which was created to jump on asteroids and other celestial bodies with low gravity. It had been previously tested on Earth, and now researchers have checked its ability to jump in zero gravity using an Airbus A310 plane of the French company Novaspace to create a semblance of weightlessness. The plane flew on ascending and descending trajectories. During this time, researchers from the University of Zurich monitored the robot's position in space and tried to track whether it could maintain a stable position in flight. It might seem that Space Hopper flails its limbs in panic during flight, but this is not the case. The automation controls the flight by shifting the center of mass as necessary through leg movements. The robot also knows how to safely land and perform jumps. Space Hopper weighs 5.2 kilograms and has a body made of aerospace aluminum with hinged supports. Each limb has knee and hip joints. One thigh is moved by 2 motors and 1 motor is allocated for the knee. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated on high-tech news. Peace to your home.